Hi, my name is Emma Parker, and my presentation is about microbiology in food. So, what causes foodborne illnesses? Many foodborne illnesses are caused by consuming contaminated foods or beverages that contain microbes or pathogens. Some of those microbes and pathogens are bacteria, viruses, and parasites. And some common ones are Salmonella, Clostridium, E. coli, Listeria. And so, how are these pathogens contaminating our food? There are three different times that pathogens can infiltrate our food. One being the pre-harvest contamination, which is where pathogens are introduced in the environment. And to start out, they can be introduced in the irrigation water that is used to supply the produce with water, and it can be introduced through the soil, through soil amendments like fertilizers or compost or manure, and it could be introduced through the air, through insects or other animals going through a field crop and leaving feces. Next is contamination during harvesting. This can happen when equipment is dirty or contaminated, like containers, knives, the worker's hands or gloves, or it can be directly from the worker while somebody might be working while they're sick, or they have improper hygiene or not good food safety training. The last time that a pathogen could be introduced into a food is during the post-harvest and processing. The many fresh produce are contaminated after harvesting during transit, so trucks and coolers and transport vehicles can be a source for pathogen, as well as highway trailers that use ice or mechanical cooling systems. Also, cross-contamination can be an issue with washing or fluming of fresh produce. E. coli is common in spinach and cilantro and romaine lettuce because of this. So next I have an article about pathogens in wheat. Wheat has been a source of several outbreaks in the past years. The International Food Association for Food Protection showed a detection rate in 5,176 wheat samples. The three pathogens that were listed were Salmonella at 1.23%, E. coli at 0.44%, and Listeria at 0.08%. And then through a pulse field gel electrophoresis, the study revealed that all of the E. coli were unique, and then 83% of the Salmonella was unique. And so these findings suggest that the microbial contamination is very diverse because of all the different unique strains. And so it's hard to find a specific area from where the pathogens came from. The next article that I have is about Salmonella. And Salmonella is a very dangerous pathogen, and it's mostly spread through eggs, chicken, and pork raw. And a recent study found antimicrobial resistance in Salmonella through antibiotics, and some strains have shown resistance to first-line antibiotics like ampicillin, and this just further complicates the treatment. And the test study isolates Salmonella for specific antimicrobial resistance, which I've got two slides that have a graph on them. Here is the graph for the antimicrobial resistance profiles of Salmonella. As you can see, on the left-hand side is all the antimicrobial agents, and you can see The first row is the resistant ones. So we have different percentages, 9%, 7%, 18, even all the way up to 53% resistant. And then here on the next slide, we show some other common antimicrobial agents like amoxicillin and penicillin, which are up in the 30% resistance for Salmonella. The next article that I found was about Listeria, and Listeria is one of the most dangerous pathogens when it comes to foodborne illnesses. In an article published by Nature, it states that Listeria is an excellent model for intracellular infection as it mediates its own uptake in non-phagocytic cells, subsequently escapes from the vacuole polymerase actin to spread from cell to cell, and secretes factors that alter transcription, post-translational modifications, innate immune signaling, and cytoskeletal rearrangements. So that is just a long list of things that Listeria can do in the body that makes it the most dangerous foodborne pathogen, and causes the most issues, and it is most lethal in immunocompromised individuals, and it can cause sepsemia, meningitis, and fetal infection. The last article that I read was about Clostridium difficile. It's a gram-positive spore-forming anaerobic bacillus, and most infections are acquired in hospitals through the fecal-oral route. Prevention includes wearing gloves when cleaning feces, washing your hands very thoroughly, and using chlorine-based cleaners instead of alcohol-based cleaners. Isolating patients with C. diff. It can be very serious when it comes in contact with food, causing the spread, and it causes very upset stomach and diarrhea. And then also people can be an asymptomatic carrier, which spreads the infection much easier. Here are my sources in alphabetical order. And here are my sources continued. Thank you.